All right, welcome everyone to this week's live English class. I am going to be teaching one of my students who happens to be a student leader in my program called Daily English Lessons Membership. We might have a few other students that join us, but I really enjoy doing these classes, and I want to introduce you to this individual first, and then we're going to dive into today's class. So I hope you have your notebook and your pen ready because you are going to learn a lot. So I want to introduce Tazil. Tazil, how are you?
I'm doing great, Teacher Tiffani. And how about you?
I'm doing amazing, Tazil. Thank you for asking. I really enjoy these classes. I enjoy teaching, so I'm excited to share with you everything that I've prepared. So it's good to see you.
I'm elated. I'm elated to be here this morning.
I
Thank
love
you.
it. I love it. All right, Tazil. Now, our topic for the class today is actually friendship. So I'm going to teach you vocabulary word, an idiom, and an expression, and we're going to dive deep into this topic. But I want to ask you, Tazil, before we learn the first vocabulary word, can you tell us about one of your closest friends, maybe even your best friend? How do you feel about this person, and how did you get so close to this person?
Thank you, Teacher Tiffani,
Mm,
for this question. Uh, my best friend is actually my husband.
mm,
We has been friends since we were teenager,
yeah.
and he's a wonderful person.
Oh,
He's also a dependable person.
I love it.
Never judge me,
Mm,
always be by my side,
yes.
always there for me.
Yes.
So my best friend is my husband.
I
It's
love that.
it can be rude for some persons, but for me it's since we were teenager, we were so close.
Yeah.
We share everything together.
I love it.
So he's my soulmate.
I love it. Okay, I'm smiling so hard. First, of course, I love being your teacher and I love you as a person. But I also love it's written all over your face. Like as you were talking about your husband, like it's like your face kept lighting up and getting like your smile got bigger and bigger. And as
Thank
a
you.
woman, it's to see another woman speaking about her husband like that, it's so amazing. So I love that. Whoever your husband is, I want you to tell him later, Teacher Tiffany said, hello, he's amazing. Because he made you so
I
happy.
will.
I
Yeah,
love
I
it.
will. Thank you.
I love it. Okay, so what we're going to do right now, Tazil, we're going to dive into our lesson. And I'm going to teach you some expressions that you can use moving forward to even describe your husband. So are you ready to dive in?
Of course.
Let's
Yes.
do good. Let's do it. All right. So we're going to dive into, again, our topic is friendships. And the very first word I want to teach you is bond. Okay. The word is bond. All right. And so this term bond, before we dive into the definition, I want to help you with the pronunciation. So if you can repeat after me, okay, after me, bond.
Bound.
Excellent. Again, bond.
Bound.
Excellent. And last time after me, bond.
Bound.
Great job. Great job. And again, for those that are watching, I want you also to repeat after me, just like I have Tazil repeating after me. Now, this term bond literally just means a close connection or tie between people, or a relationship built on mutual affection and trust. In English, we call this a bond. So, for example, when you think about your husband, Tazil, because we're talking about your husband, right? Or any other close friends you have, something happens when you're around him. Something happens when you're around those you're close to. You actually kind of want to be a bit closer to him. There's a physical connection, right? And this is
Yeah.
called that bond, right? It draws you closer to him. You want to be near him because there's a connection. So you know how you have a hand, your left and your right hand. When they come together, and they do this, right? It's harder to pull apart. They're close. So think about a bond like that. When you are close to someone, there's a connection and you don't want to separate. Does that kind of make sense?
Yes.
Perfect, perfect. So this term bond is used very often when we're speaking about friendships. So I want to look at the example sentences first, and then we're going to go into letting you create some example sentences as well. Here's the first example sentence. The two childhood friends have maintained a strong bond despite living in different countries. Once again, the two childhood friends have maintained a strong bond despite living in different countries. Now, what happens sometimes is you'll be away from a friend, you'll be away from those that you're close to, and you feel like you're pulling away. But when you're super close to someone, even when they're far away, even when they're in another state or another country, you still feel close. That's because you have a very strong bond. They are a part of you. Does that kind of make sense from that sentence as well?
This example is mine.
Yes, I
It's part
love
of my
it.
experience.
Really? Tell us more. Tell us more. It's part of your experience, your childhood friend?
My husband has, when we were friends, he has to live abroad to study. So even though we were separated,
Yeah,
we still had this bond
I love it.
together.
Oh, and I love how you said we still had this bond. You used it immediately. Excellent. Very good job. Very good. I love it. I love it. Again, for those watching, you noticed how Tazil just immediately used the expression. She used this word, and that's how you really improve your English very, very quickly. Hold on one second. We have someone else joining us. I love it. This class is live for those that are watching. This class is actually live right now. So I'm going to add one of our other members is here with us. I'm going to add her. Hold on one second. All right.
I'm
So
here.
now we have Yelisa. Yelisa, how are you?
I'm doing good, Teacher Tiffany.
Good
I'm
to
trying
see
to
you.
keep my head above the water,
Yes.
but I will be fine.
Good. Yes. Now, Yelisa, I have something to tell you. So we started our class and Tazil was here, and I actually just taught her the term bond. So what we're going to do really quickly, I'm going to ask Tazil. Tazil, can you quickly explain the term bond to Yelisa? Can you do that for us?
Of course. Hello, Yelisa.
Hi, Cecile.
We're just talking about the word bond. Bond is this natural connection you have with someone. It can be a friend or a relative. It's a natural connection you have with someone. That's called bond.
Okay.
I don't know if
Amazing.
I'm correct, teacher.
Listen, amazing. You did it very well. You explained it very well. I was sitting here smiling like, yes, excellent. Yes, that natural connection, that strong connection you have with someone, we say it is a bond. So excellent job, Tazil. Very, very good. All right, excellent. So now we are all on the same page. We understand what this term bond actually means. So I'm going to go over the last two example sentences using this word. So the second example sentence is shared experiences during college helped the group form an unbreakable bond. Again, shared experiences, which is what normally happens when you have experiences or you do things with other people, it strengthens your bond. You want to be connected even more, right? And then finally, family bonds are often strengthened through open communication and quality time spent together. Once again, family bonds are often strengthened through open communication and quality time spent together. So this term bond, all right? So this term bond, again, just means time that you are spending together, right? This connection that you have with each other. So before I ask each of you to give me some example sentences, I want to make sure. Yelisa, does the term bond make sense?
Yeah,
Perfect, perfect.
it makes sense.
Good. And Tazil, does it make sense for you?
Yes.
Excellent, excellent. All right. So now what we are going to do is I am going to ask each of you to give an example sentence using the term bond. So ladies, I want you to think about, again, your friendships, those you are connected to right now, and I want you to think about an example sentence using the term bond. So I'm going to ask Tazil, if you can go first, can you please give us an example sentence using the term bond?
Think.
No problem at all.
Um, family bond. He's a backbone. No,
Good.
it's a
Keep going.
backbone. So in my daily life.
Ooh, okay. I like the context. Okay, I love it. I love it. All right. So let's look at this together. Again, now for those that are watching, this can be very nerve-wracking. It can be very difficult to be live and giving an example sentence, but I want to commend you, Tazil, for doing this, okay? So, excellent context. I love it. So, let's check this out together, all right? You said family bond is a backbone to or in my daily...
No, not.
Go ahead. You want to change it?
Yeah. I will.
Tell me, what would you like to change?
Two. Delete
Okay.
two.
Oh, delete two. Okay, let's go back real quick. Okay, all right. Family bond is a backbone in my daily life. So let's correct this part together. Again, excellent context. Very good context. So let's see this. My family bond or is the backbone of my life. My family bond is the backbone of my daily life. Or the bond I have with my family is the backbone of my daily life. That kind of makes sense?
Yes.
And again, it's so beautiful because that means the connection you have with your family members, your love for your husband, your love for your children is what keeps you moving every day. That bond, right?
That's right. Yes.
I love it. I love it. So again, great context, great sentence. Once again, my family bond is the backbone of my daily life. Good job. I love that. Now, I think we lost Yelisa, so I'm going to give you another opportunity to give another sentence if you'd like. And this time, I'd like to ask you to talk about your husband. And I know I'm putting you on the spot. I know you didn't prepare, but don't worry, you're doing great. Can you give us a sentence now related to your husband and the bond you have with him? What would you like to say about your husband? Again, the bond you have with him.
I will give a long sentence.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember when my husband had to live abroad. It was our bond. How that keep us together.
Woo! Come on with the context. Okay, I love it. I love it. All right. I remember when my husband had to live abroad. Perfect. No corrections needed at all. Next sentence. It was our bond that kept us together. I corrected one word. Which word did I just correct?
Kept.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, you're right. I should say kept. Yes.
But remember, I was able to understand what you were saying, though, because it's a great sentence. The context is amazing, and you understand how to use the word bond properly. So I remember when my husband had to live abroad. It was our bond that kept us together. So I'd like to ask you to read that sentence to us.
I remember when my husband had to live abroad,
Next
it
sentence.
was our bond that kept us together.
Amazing. Very good. Excellent. I love it. I love it. So excellent job. So Tazil, now you understand this term bond, how to use it in real life and how to apply it to your own life. All right. Now I want us to go to the next term. I want to teach you a term, an expression, and this expression is thick as thieves. And it kind of sounds funny to hear it the first time. Thick as thieves, all right? Thick as thieves. So I'm going to bring you on and I want to ask you to repeat after me. Again, thick as thieves.
Thick as thieves.
Now, one thing to pay attention to is tricky for the one watching as well. That TH sound, remember to make the TH sound, you want to stick your tongue through your teeth. So again, thick as thieves.
Thick as thieves.
Excellent. I know it feels weird, right? But it's correct. So we're going to do it 2 more times. Thick as thieves.
Thick as thieves.
Excellent. Last time. Thick as thieves.
Thick as thieves.
Excellent. Very good. Very good. So now we have the pronunciation down, right? Now let's see, what does this term actually mean? This expression that is commonly used by native English speakers. It just means extremely close friends or in very close association. Again, we're talking about friendship, right? And we learned the term bond. Now we have an expression, thick as thieves, that literally has the same meaning. Again, extremely close friends. Friends who have a strong bond. Now, you can actually say, my husband and I, as you mentioned, are very close. He's my best friend. We have a strong bond. We are thick as thieves. Again, extremely close. And the easiest way to remember this is, I'm not a thief. Hopefully, let me ask you, Tazil, you're not a thief, right? You don't steal? I'll take that laugh to me. No, you're not a thief, right? But when you think about this, the easiest way to remember it is individuals that are thieves, right? Individuals that steal, they usually stick together and they say, hey, I'm going to take this, you go that way, and then we'll get everything, and then we'll exit together, right? They're kind of always moving together. That's the easiest way to remember this expression. Thick as thieves, always together, extremely close friends. Does that kind of make sense?
Yes.
Excellent, excellent. All right. So now what we're going to do is look at some example sentences using this expression. All right. So here's the first example sentence. All right. The first example sentence is, after working together for years, the 2 colleagues became as thick as thieves. All right. After working together for so many years, the 2 colleagues became extremely close friends, or became as thick as thieves. Next, the siblings are as thick as thieves, always supporting each other through tough times. This is a pattern that I want us to look at, right? The siblings are as thick as thieves, and then we have details about their relationship, right? The siblings are as thick as thieves. That could be a sentence, but we put a comma and added more details. Always supporting each other through tough times. So if we were to look at this as a pattern, right? I want us to actually look at this as a pattern for writing a sentence, okay? So I'm going to share my screen again, and I want us to think about it like this. So you have, let's say, the individuals. Let's put this right here. The individuals, all right? Who you are speaking about, the individuals. And then you put are as thick as thieves, and then comma, and then a description. All right, a description. So for example, I can say, my best friend and I are as thick as thieves. we always call each other in the evening. Kind of makes sense? So the individuals, then we have are as thick as thieves, and then a description of the relationship. Once again, I said my best friend and I are as thick as thieves. We always call each other in the evening. You got it? All right. Now, I would like you to create a sentence using that pattern and describe your relationship with your husband. So, my husband and I, ... You ready?
I'm ready.
Go for it.
Can I give another example?
Sure.
Not related to my husband?
Of course.
Okay. I will give an example about my daughter.
Okay.
My daughter and her cousin has this.
Follow the pattern. Oh.
No, I will come.
No, good. Okay. Has this bond.
Have this bond.
Bond.
And they are as thick as teeth. I'm sorry. Let me restart.
But that's okay. My daughter and her cousin have this bond, and they are as thick as thieves.
As thick as thieves.
This is what I want to do. Yeah. I want us to look at this sentence because it is a good sentence. And I love that you used both the expression and the word. So this is what we'll do. We'll keep this. We're not going to let it go away because this is good. And I'll just make one correction, and then we'll do the next sentence you wanted to do, right? My daughter and her cousin have, instead of this, is it a strong bond or a weak bond?
A strong bond.
Very good. So a better way of saying this would be have a strong bond and they are as thick as thieves. Makes sense, right?
Yes, perfect.
Thank you so much. So what I want you to do now is, I want you to make another sentence and I want you to use the pattern. You ready?
Yes.
Okay, go for it.
My sister and I.
Yes.
Are as thick as teeth. We always got we always get each other back.
Oh, good job. Okay, wait. Hold on. Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, hold on 1 second. My sister and I are as thick as thieves. We always have each other's back.
Have each other back.
Good. I love that. We always have. Let's change the color real quick. Hold on 1 second. Good. Let's do this. Let's use blue. All right. We always have each other's back. I love it. I love it. Excellent. All right. So you were able to use the pattern, but you were also able to create your own sentence. And as you made your sentence, you were able to also use the word. That's excellent. You used bond and you used thick as thieves. Excellent job. Excellent job. So thick as thieves, it makes sense, right? How to use this term, right?
Yes. Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. So now I want to break down just the final example sentence real quick using this term thick as thieves. Okay. I want to break down this final sentence. All right. Here's the final sentence. Despite their different backgrounds, the roommates quickly became as thick as thieves. All right. They had different backgrounds, but they still were able to become extremely close friends. Again, as thick as thieves. All right, so we have the word and we have the expression. We have the word bond and the word thick as thieves. So let me make sure. So let me ask Yelisa, does this make sense to you as well?
Yes, I was trying to find the definition of thick and thin, that the person are extremely close friends. Okay, I got
Yes.
it.
Excellent.
It
So
makes-
yeah, let me ask you this, Yelisa. For you, who would you consider to be an extremely close friend? Tell us about one of your extremely close friends. You say, this friend and I, we are as thick as thieves. Who would you say that is?
When I was growing up, I remember that reminds me when I was at a high school, and one of my best friends, we share many things, many experience together with each family. So when I am thinking about her, with I can use that expression that I cannot see it right now because it's new for me.
I will
It's
show
very
it
new
to
for
you.
me.
There we go.
Yeah. Our experience, I can think that those experiences are became things like us.
We were thick as thieves. Excellent, excellent. Don't worry, I know that connection went out, so part of the breakdown you weren't here for, but let's do this. I'm actually going to write down what you just said, Yelisa, because that was a great example. You mentioned your friend from when you were younger and how you actually spent lots of time with that friend. It was a female, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was
So-
a female.
It was a female. Okay, so I'm going to write the sentence you just said, just so that you can have it for yourself as well. Again, you said, my friend and I spent lots of time together as when we were kids, right? When we were kids? When we
Yeah.
were kids. We were, and then I'll give you this last sentence. We were as thick as thieves. Okay, so this is a sentence you can use. We were as thick as thieves. And again, the key is right here. We were as thick as thieves. Why? Because you spent so much time together, right? You spent lots of time together and you got very close. You made a strong bond, which is that word we learned, okay?
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right, so now we have these two terms. We have the word bond and we have the expression thick as thieves. Now the next one I want to teach you all, again, we're still talking about friendship. The next one I want to teach you all is an idiom. Okay, I'm going to teach you this idiom. The idiom is birds of a feather flock together. Again, birds of a feather flock together. So I'm going to bring you on individually and ask, well, I'm actually going to ask each of you to repeat after me, okay? After me. So, after me first, Tazil. Birds of a feather flock together.
Can I
Yeah.
see,
Now
can I
listen,
see the?
I took it off the screen for a reason because I wanted you to follow my listening, and I watched your eyes go, Tiff, where'd it go? Where's the So look, I just want you to listen
Let me
to
try
me.
again.
Okay, here we go. I'll say it again and I'll say it slower. Birds of a feather flock together.
Birds of a feather flock together.
There you go. Trust your brain. I love it. We'll do it two more times. Birds of a feather flock together.
Birds of a feather flock together.
Good. Last time. Now a little bit faster. Birds of a feather flock together.
Birds of the feather flocks together.
Good. Flock together. Excellent. All right.
Flock
And now,
together.
yeah, Lisa, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Good. After me, slow the first time. Birds of a feather flock together.
Birds of a feather flock together.
Good. Again, two more times. Birds of a feather flock together.
Birds of a feather flock together.
Okay, so it's hard to see your mouth clearly, I think, because it's really bright behind you.
Yeah.
If you fake, oh, there we go. Welcome. Beautiful face. Okay. So I was hearing something when you said birds. So after me, birds.
Birds.
Not, that's what I was hearing. Not, there's no tongue. Watch. Birds.
Birds.
No tongue.
Bird.
My tongue doesn't come out, right? Birds.
Birds.
There you go.
Bird.
No,
Birds.
no tongue, no tongue.
Bird.
Birds.
Birds.
There you go.
Bird.
Birds
Okay.
of a feather.
Birds. The other one, I forgot.
No worries. Again, birds of a feather.
Birds of a feather. Feather.
Feather, good. Again, birds of a feather.
Birds of a feather.
One more time. I saw that tongue try to sneak out. No tongue. Birds of a feather.
Birds of a feather.
Flock together.
Flock together.
Good. Okay. All right. Last time. Birds of a feather flock together.
Birds of a feather flock together.
Very good, ladies. Very good. Very good. All right. So this term, birds of a feather, this idiom, birds of a feather flock together, it literally just refers to people with similar interests, backgrounds, or characteristics tend to seek out or associate with one another. In other words, individuals who have similar interests, similar tastes, similar likes will naturally be drawn together. For example, Tazil, you are currently learning English. Yelisa, you are also learning English. You both have similar interests, which is how you met each other, right? So birds of a feather flock together means, hey, I like English. You like English too? Okay. Then let's kind of come together, right? So when you are around someone who has similar thinking patterns, similar interests, similar desires, you're naturally drawn to that person. Make sense?
Yes.
Perfect, perfect. All right. So again, we're talking about this idiom, birds of a feather flock together, relating to people that have similar interests or backgrounds, right? I'm an African American woman, so I have many African American female friends. I have many friends of other backgrounds because we have other interests that are alike or similar, right? All right, so check out this example sentence. Here we go. The book club members are truly birds of a feather, sharing a passion for literature and lively discussions. Truly birds of a feather. Now, what you'll notice is we don't have the flock together at the end. It's okay to separate this one. Birds of a feather flock together. It's okay to separate this idiom when you're speaking. Look at the next one. The next one includes the entire idiom. In high school, you often see that birds of a feather flock together as students form friend groups based on shared interests. Now that's a longer sentence, but does that sentence make sense to you? Again, in high school, you often see that birds of a feather flock together. Does that kind of make sense, ladies?
Yes.
Make
Yes.
sense? Good, good. Yelisa, you're okay? Good, good. All right, so going back now to the last example sentence. The saying birds of a feather flock together explains why people often choose friends with similar values and lifestyles. So you can think about your friend group, right? Those you enjoy being around. And if you think about them right now, maybe think about your two closest friends, and you'll start to realize, oh, she likes that, and I also like that. Or, oh, he enjoys that, and so do I. For example, I love music, right? I love gospel music. I'm a Christian. I love Christian music. Many of my friends also enjoy Christian music. Birds of a feather flock together, all right? Having similar interests, all right? So what I want us to do is I want you to think of a sentence. And we're going to, just like we did for the previous expression, we're going to have you create a sentence. But what I want to do is give you a pattern, all right? I want to give you a pattern that you can follow to make it a bit easier, all right? So here's the pattern that you're going to be able to use. Again, we're talking about birds of a feather, all right? Here we go. They are a real example of birds of a feather flocking together. All right? Very simple sentence. The only thing you're going to have to change in this sentence or this example is this portion. They. They are a real example of birds of a feather flocking together. All right? So, man, my niece and her best friend are a real example of birds of a feather flocking together. I'm saying that, man, you can tell that they have similar interests. They really are interested in the same things. All right? So, does that kind of make sense, ladies? Let's see. Does that make sense? That pattern? Good. All right. So, Yelisa, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Perfect. All right. So using this pattern, Yelisa, I want you to make your own sentence. All right. So here we go. Let's make your own sentence using this pattern. Okay. Go for it.
Okay, I was thinking about my Christian family are a real example of birds of feather flocking together.
Okay. My Christian family are a real example of birds of a feather flocking together. All right. Again, the context, excellent. There's only one thing that we need to adjust. All right. One thing that we're going to change. All right. My Christian, let's move this over just a bit. My Christian family members, because we have R right here, right? My Christian family members are a real example of birds of a feather flocking together. Make sense? Good, good. All right. Excellent, excellent. Let's see. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Let me see. Let's go now. Okay. Are you ready? Hold on 1 second, ladies. All right. So, Tazil, are you ready to give your example sentence?
Yes.
Excellent. All right, Tazil, please give us another example sentence using the pattern.
I was thinking about man who is passionate about football.
I like that example. How can I write it?
Yeah. Men
Yes.
or some of
You
some
can
of men, men, I can say men,
Yep.
who has
Yes.
passion for football, who are a real example of birds of a feather flocking together.
Okay, let me make this smaller so we can see. There we go. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Are a real example of birds of a feather
Feather flocking together.
flocking together. Okay, so the only change, men who, what should be? There you go. Men who have, let me go back.
Yes.
Good. Men who have a passion for football are a real example of birds of a feather flocking together. Make sense?
Yes.
Excellent, excellent. All right. So we're seeing, ladies, again, how to use this in real life, right? Wow. Birds of a feather really do flock together. Men who are passionate about football are a real example of birds of a feather flocking together. Or my Christian family members, man, They're a real example of birds of a feather flocking together. All right? Okay, so this is an idiom that is very commonly used in real English conversations. All right? So we've had 3 different terms that we've learned so far. All right? Again, our topic being friendships. All right? So we had bond,
Bound,
thick as
thick
thieves.
as thieves.
Let me share it with you guys. Hold on one second. And then birds of a feather flock together. Okay? Flock together. So let me ask you, ladies, all right? I want to ask you, which one is your favorite? Bond, thick as thieves, or birds of a feather flock together? I'm going to ask you first. Tazia, which one do you like the best or the most?
Let's say the second one,
Which is?
thick idea as thieves,
There you go. Say it one more time.
thick as thieves.
Good. Yes. And why do you like that one so much?
And it's new for me,
Yeah.
and it describes the bond, the relationship you have with someone. So you can use it just to describe a good relationship you have with someone. So I love it.
I love it. I love it. All right. Thick as thieves. Excellent. And Yelisa, so Tazil shared hers. What about you, Yelisa? Which one do you like?
It's the same. It's the same for me. The second one.
Which
Thick
is?
as thick.
Excellent.
Because when you have different relationship and you share your experience, personal experience with them,
Yeah.
it's so useful to use this expression.
I love that.
Thick
I love it.
as thief.
There you go. Thick as thieves. Excellent. Excellent. All right. I love it, ladies. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to wrap up our session by asking each of you a discussion question related to friendship. And as you're answering the question, I just want you to try to figure out 1 or 2 ways of inserting any of the terms you learned today, whether it be the vocabulary word, the expression, or the idiom. Just as you answer the question, figuring out how you can use one of the terms naturally, okay? So I'm going to actually start with Yelisa. Yelisa, I'm going to ask you a discussion question related to friendship. So I'm going to bring you to the screen. Are you ready, Yelisa?
Yes, I'm ready. There is a lot of noise, but
It's okay. It's okay. This is a live class. Real life is happening, so don't worry at all. So, Yelisa, here's the question I want to ask you. How can a person balance or maintain old friendships? You mentioned earlier, you told myself and you told Tazil that back in the day when you were younger, you had a childhood friend, you had a strong bond, you were as thick as thieves. But how can a person balance or maintain old friendships, in your opinion?
Wow, in my opinion, Teacher Tiffani, to maintain this relationship, you need to keep in contact with them. Maybe you can choose the WhatsApp or another social media that you can keep in touch with that person and type them, maybe not frequently as you decide, but if you can, keep in touch during your journey, during your life, you can maintain this relationship. And don't try to drift apart or going apart, because we know we are adult person, we have different responsibility, but just to maintain this relationship, you can type on your cell phone, make a call maybe, or if you cannot visit to their home, you can send an email, or we don't use a letter nowadays. We
I
just
know.
send emails or WhatsApp. But just to use the technology as much as you can, or make a video call.
Yes. Now that was an excellent answer. But did you use any of the terms? You think honestly it was I was like, she's doing so well. I'm not gonna stop her.
Oh my God.
But you can.
Sorry.
No, you did perfect. So give us one last sentence that uses any of the terms. It was a
Okay.
great answer.
Let me rephrase all of the
No,
things
no,
that
no, no, no. Literally, you gave a great response, right? It was so good. You can wrap it up with one sentence using any term.
Okay. Just to maintain this relationship and a good, in a good relationship with my friends, I just try to keep in contact with them by WhatsApp, by email, by those kind of things that I can use in technology, just to try to as fix a relationship.
Okay, almost. Just to make sure we remain as thick as thieves.
Okay.
Yes.
Just
Okay,
to
good.
to remain fixed and fit.
As thick as thieves.
Okay.
As
Yep.
thick as thieves. Can you try it?
As thick as thief. Okay.
Yes, this is a tongue twister. It's a little bit tricky, but excellent. Yes, the answer was great, and you wrapped it up well. Thank you so much, Yelisa. Good job, good job. Now, this is a question again for those that are watching that is good to respond to. Think about how can you balance your friendships? How can you answer this question and use either bond or thick as thieves or birds of a feather flock together? So now I want to ask again to wrap us up. I want to ask Tazil. Tazil, are you ready for your question as well?
Yes,
Excellent. All right.
I am.
Here's the question I want to ask you. Wow. How do you think technology has impacted or affected the way we maintain strong friendships? How do you think technology, cell phones, computers, and everything, how do you think technology has affected or impacted the way we keep strong friendships or maintain?
Thanks for the question, Teacher Tiffani.
You're
It's
welcome.
actually a great question.
Thank you.
I can say technology is a lifesaver for
Wow.
people, for friendship.
Mm.
I I remember when my husband and we were at that time just friends,
Yeah.
and he has to leave the country, to live abroad.
Mm.
So at that time, we didn't have WhatsApp or
Mm.
social media. We had to talk. We had to buy a phone card to to be able to talk for 10 minutes or
Mm-hmm.
15 minutes, and
Mm.
we had to write letters to
Yeah.
send to each other, and it it take it took sometimes 1 month or 2 months to have an answer.
Wow.
So today we are able to talk to each other, even though he's not there, he's on trip, or he traveled for a long time. We keep contact.
Yes.
uh, we can talk all day. We
Mm-hmm.
can make video calls. Sometimes he make video call to show me where he was, what he do, what he does, etc. I think technology make our relationship much easier. Technology, I can say, uh, make our bond stronger.
That's what I wanted to say. I wanted to. I was like, makes your strong bond. I wanted to say that. Good job. Excellent. Yes.
So yes, technology is really, like I said earlier, a lifesaver. It helps us maintain a strong relationship. It helps us keep contact,
Yes.
and it make our life better.
I love it. I love it. Excellent job, ladies. Excellent job. Each of you. Yes. I think your husband in the background said good or no? Maybe.
Exactly.
Great job. Great job. Yes, ladies. Excellent job. Excellent job. Each of you, you understood the terms that we went over today. You understood the vocabulary word, the expression, the idiom, and you were able to answer the question I asked each of you in a very good way. So excellent job, ladies. Thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed this class, ladies.
Oh, yes. Yes, teacher. It was great. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm so happy to hear that. And for the individual watching this recording, I hope you also enjoyed it. I hope you learned a lot about bond, about birds of a feather flock together, and thick as thieves. We'll talk to you in the next lesson.